Hello, everybody.
Hey,
How you doing, Gina? Hey, Tosh.
Good.
hey,
How y'all doing today?
good. How are you?
It gets greater
Blessed
later if you
Friday.
believe the best is yet to come.
So today is all about you, and definitely, we are not going to ask any questions unless you want us to. My name is Regina. I'm a podcaster and a radio host, and I have my co-host down here too as well. But we gonna let Miss Latasha let everybody know who she is, where she from, and what she do.
I am from Indianapolis, Indiana. I am a mother of three, a grandmother. I own a real estate brokerage. I also own a personal service agency. I am in my probationary period for my home health care. I have a women's recovery home, reuniting women with children, and also a group home for LGBT children. And I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I think I said that part.
Yeah, right next to me.
where,
Right.
where you located?
Last but not least, my co-host.
Y'all already know this your boy King Zah. I'm originally from East St. Louis, Illinois. I stay in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an A&R, art, actor, content creator, podcaster, and I'm partnered with a clothing brand called Genuine Vibes Only. If you ain't genuine, stay from around me. Back to you, Gina.
Period, as you just said. And so, Miss Latasha, would you like to tell your story? Give us, you know, the full story of
Okay.
what's going on in your
Okay.
life.
This is my son, Carl. Carl Edward Stevenson the fourth. He was murdered on November the 11th, 2025, by his girlfriend. He is a father of an 8-year-old girl named Milani. He is my middle son. He is my silent son. I am writing a book in his memory to tell his story, to bring awareness to domestic violence against men. Um, this story starts about 4 years ago. He met a girl. He brought her around. They stayed at one of my houses for a while, but I still never really got to know her. I know that she was trying to keep trouble going with him and his daughter's mother. So I spoke to her about that. And since then, me and her never spoke again. Guess she didn't like what I had to say. But their relationship was already turbulent. I actually raised the granddaughter from 3 months to 5.5 years old because he was still finding himself. She was still finding herself. The mom got in a position where she had her own car, house, everything, job about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So the baby went back with her. There was a lot of friction in the family because he really wasn't standing up doing what he was supposed to do. So it was just a bunch of friction with that. He pulled away from the family. Anytime that we told him that he was in danger, and that the relationship just was not good for him because of the things that we saw. Like he began to take mushrooms and things that just was not in his nature. He became vegan to where he didn't eat anything that did not come from the ground. Um, he stayed with me back for a while because they kept going through, like, he'll pay the bills and then she'll put him out. And so I was telling him, like, hey, stop doing that. Like, she's having you pay the bills and then having who she really wants over there. That's why she's wanting you to leave. It came to a point where he's like, he and I stopped speaking altogether because I was telling him, like, you're letting this girl come between you and your daughter more so than the whole family. Um, and so we stopped speaking altogether in regards to that. Fast forward, that was April. Um, no, didn't really speak to him. Maybe a month before this incident happened, my daughter called and she said that she was like, Mama, my brother needs help. But I'm like, he's grown. You know what I mean? So we can't help him if he don't let us. Instead, I probably should have asked, in regards to what she was saying but more so. But she ended up telling me like he was standing outside the window of the girl of his own car at the time that she told me this. And the girl was saying, come and pick up your dead brother. That was a month before she actually killed him. So my daughter and her were going back and forth on FaceTime. She was like, do you want me to send a picture? And, so this has kind of been a thing. She thought that was cute. Um, and my son just didn't see the danger. You know what I mean? Like, if she was doing that, then even for her to pull a gun this day, that's just something she had done. He actually had began to be a gun broker, maybe about 9 months ago. And he came and he had got a shot through and through to his foot. So he told me he did it at the gun range. Um, I didn't question it, but at the same time in my mind, I'm like, you're too good with guns for that to happen because he literally sat here and built a gun from the beginning to the end, which amazed me. I didn't even know he knew how to do that. Um, but it was some of the guns he was selling. I guess it was cheaper to buy the parts and build the guns than to buy the guns and resell them. So it did kind of go through my mind like he's too well versed with guns to shoot himself. After the fact, so we were told that basically the I'm here one day with a client and the client goes outside. He's like, there's a chaplain sitting out in front of your house with a police uniform on. So after about 10 minutes when he didn't come in, I went out there and asked him, could I help him? He asked me who I was. I told him Latasha Stevenson. He asked me, was that the same as Latasha Boyd? I told him yes. And then he said, he's sorry to inform me that my son Cross Edward Stevenson was killed earlier this afternoon. So that was around 6 when he made it to me. He said this happened at 12:04. He was pronounced dead at 12:43 at Eskenazi Hospital. So um, nobody reached out to us from her family, mother, grandmother, sister, cousins, nobody to tell us what happened, which I'm sure everybody knew by the time 5, 6 hours had passed. Um, so it was just trying to process that, you know what I mean? Because, like, something in me was like, I just knew it, you know what I mean? I told him time and time again, like, even when he lived here one day, he was like talking to her on the phone and she just keeps like badgering him to where I'm like, who are you talking to? And then he's like, her, like, and just starts like, she just gets on my nerve. Like, she keeps badgering me, da, da, da. Like, just a rage that I've never seen in him. To where he's like, I'm leaving her alone. So he's crying, and I'm telling him, yeah, if anyone can have an effect on your emotions like that, you need to leave them alone. So I tried to move him back in with me, give him some structure, like, hey, let's budget your money, let's do this, do that. But no matter what I did, as soon as he got money, he ran over there. And I mean, time and time again, she would use him for his money and then don't want to be bothered with him. Um, so, I say all that to say my son, and the reason I wrote the book, The Silent Son, is because he's my middle child. I have a 33-year-old son, a 24-year-old daughter, and Carl was 27. He was the child that, he had to have speech therapy. Therapists come to the school, probably didn't walk until he was almost 4. I had her 3 years after him, and she was walking before him and talking before him. Um, so he was a little bit slower to grasp things in the world. And we probably kept him more protected and sheltered than we should have. Because when he crossed paths with somebody like her, who only knows survival, basically her world swallowed him whole. And
Right.
with that, you know what I mean, I lost my son to streets that he was never supposed to be in. Um, he was just exposed to so much. And I don't know, like, about abuse and all that, but I'm getting that she may have been abused sexually or whatever the case may be. And I know he said something to my daughter to the effect about like that had a lot to do why he was drawn to her. Just the sexual part of the relationship, the fact that he felt like every man before him betrayed her, and it's so many men stay silent about what's going on in those type of relationships. Like,
Mhm.
it is amazing to me that since this has happened, how many stories I'm getting in my inbox, how many people are texting me, calling me with
That's amazing story here. I'm trying not to cry because I have a son too. You feel me? And he just went through the same damn thing. And lucky we got him out of that. You feel me? Like, and it
Yeah,
is
when
men,
people think of domestic violence, they instantly think about the women. They don't think about what us men go
men,
through.
right? And it goes both ways. It ain't just the woman always getting beat on. Men do get beat on because they know they don't want to hit a woman. They probably wasn't even raised to hit anybody. You feel me? So that
Yeah,
right
because we
there,
know our strength.
yeah. And not even that, like a woman can agitate a man to a point to get him to hit her. Or it goes both ways, but still, they don't give you a reason to kill anyone and
I
have the
agree.
reason to be on a man like that constantly. And I can see that being done because I have done it. I put you. I don't mean not just hitting you and doing all that, but I guess it's just a back and forth thing, and it's just like get out.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And that type like that is just like I don't want no violence. If you give me violence, you just got to go. Like I don't. I have low tolerance of violence. You can't keep on going through this in relationships. Like it's just everybody is going through it. I don't know, something happened to her, but I get her because I got a son, and definitely, I don't even know how she holding up as well. Does that bring tears to my eyes? Because I am a mother of her daughter, and yeah, domestic violence can go a long way, no matter if it's verbal or anything.
You can say that again.
You know? You can definitely send somebody crazy in their ear all the time, and that's still violence, it's still verbally abusing somebody. So we're gonna go to a break until Mr. Tasha come back on, and we're gonna
Okay.
About to walk the floor down. Walk it down. Yeah, lady smack down. About to blow her back out. Bow. Shit, man, she didn't tap out. Do not care when I rap, dog, and I hopping on, I'm about to slap. Yeah, they standing up at the clap. Putting fucking new with Chewy on the map. Let's go. Young jock is going down. Yeah, these dudes be acting like clowns. Yeah, and I started off selling grams, homie, and then went, yeah, to them pounds. I'ma always stand my ground, dog.
I don't know where that music is.
And we're back.
Okay. So, yeah, basically, you know, just as a parent, like I said, I'm kicking myself every day because when we got into it, he did get disrespectful. But me, even knowing my son, that wasn't my son. He just had a lot of bottled up anger. And I'm just like, you know what? You grown, do you? And I kind of just washed my hands of it. But I knew also that my son could not really navigate this world because he was slower to grasp what was going on. More naive than the average 27-year-old would have been, not prepared for the world because we kept him so sheltered. Um, so it's like when you're not preparing your kids for streets that they're not supposed to be in, like, do you take that blame on yourself or you just feel like he wasn't supposed to be there?
No, it's not your fault.
Yeah,
No, because
yeah,
we definitely try as a mother. That's all we can do as a mother is try and help our children.
right,
We do the best we can, and we do shelter our children, and that's what we here to do is to shelter our children. That's why we have them.
yeah,
But it does not give a person to be violent with another, no matter what gender it is. You know what I mean? And a lot of men out there are being abused by women. You know,
yeah,
and secretly they don't want to say nothing because they feel like they might be punked out or something. You know what I mean? They might
right,
not. You might feel less
Right? Or
than
nine times out of ten, people ain't gonna believe us.
right.
that too.
And that's the
So
that's the part that makes me mad. Like, we're so gung ho for to stand up for women who experience domestic violence. So when you throw that out there, when you know that you were not a victim of domestic violence, like, that's not anything to play with. You know what I mean? That's not,
Yeah,
because everybody's gung ho about that.
right. And there's a lot of women that fake stuff out there too, just to, see that
yeah,
man get locked up or something. You know what I
Right,
mean? Because we get so mad and angry, and it's just like, well, I want to get him locked up. He ain't gonna be with me or whatever. So they go,
right,
they take advantage of stuff like that.
exactly.
all
They
they do
definitely
it.
take advantage
They
of
go
the
so far
world.
as that girl ain't gonna get you, so I'm really gonna put you behind bars. So can't nobody have you if I can't have you. And
Right.
when you get out, I'm gonna be waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's
But don't feel guilty. It's not your fault. And as a mother, that's what we're here to do is protect our children. But as they learn on their own, we can't protect them all the time. We can't be there every second, you
right.
know. And it's just like they don't want to talk and say certain things to us to let us know. Sometimes we have to peep it out first,
Right.
you know. But it's they grown and they just like I'm gonna do what I want to do because I'm grown, you
Correct.
know.
So, yeah.
But
So,
don't feel guilty. He was a good mom. Look where he came from. You know what I mean? Look how he was raised.
correct.
So it doesn't give a person to kill him, a
Right.
woman to kill him. And as you were saying, like the family, like they got something to do with it too. They
Yeah.
murdered him because
Right.
if they was there in a situation, they seeing this, you know, yeah, they got something to do with it because they didn't stop it. They didn't call nobody to give anybody
Right.
no.
Right. Silence is
They
complicity,
probably was
and
thinking
that's
like,
what.
oh, they gonna get right back together, so I ain't even gonna get in the mix.
Well, I mean, me as a mother, if my daughter is here and her relationship is toxic and they're back and forth and they arguing and fighting and everything that the sister said was going on, supposedly, as a mother, I'm going to call and say, hey, this is getting out of hand, you need to come and get your son.
Right,
Like, they
Yeah.
can't stay here. It
right,
wasn't like they were living alone, they were living over there, that which is another reason why i I just can't believe like he was beating her out of her sleep and raping her. He's in a house with you and your whole family. Who's gonna let that happen?
Right. Nobody.
She's waking up out of her sleep, getting up out of her sleep. Who's gonna let that happen?
Not
You
even
know.
that.
And I
Just
don't
Now
just
I don't
I
believe
living
that
with
for one second.
just living
yeah,
with the family just irritates me right now because yeah, if y'all seen this all the time, come on now. And some
right.
mothers be in their little ego too, that they don't want to call another mother and tell a mother that this person is doing my daughter or my son is doing this to this person too as well.
Exactly.
You just gonna let
Exactly.
it go on, you
Well, and
know.
we know who we're raising. So, they pretty much in the same letter said that she got thrown into a life that she didn't, she didn't ask for. You're
That's
basically
not
saying
He didn't
yeah,
ask for that either.
right, but you're
right. That
basically
part.
telling us that she's a problem based on how she was raised, and you're blaming it on that. That's not that you can't blame it on that. So you know exactly who you're raising. We know who we raising as our kids.
Right.
Like, I got, like I said, I have an older son. So if you say, yeah, he did this or that, yeah, he did. But this one, nah, he don't talk. You know what I mean? Like you just know your kids. I know when somebody tell me, hey, your child did this, yep, they did it. Or nah. You know what I mean? He like even when his baby mom came and said she was pregnant, like they hid it for like 5 months. So when she said that, I'm like, well, what did y'all say? Like, what did you say to get in the bedroom? Because he don't talk and you don't talk. She was like, oh, we were drunk. A teenage night. Oh, okay. That makes sense because how does that happen? You
Yeah.
know? Um,
Things happen.
yeah, but I mean, like what they're saying is just not in his character. I don't condone domestic violence in any form for the man, the woman, whoever. I don't condone it. And had once
Yeah.
any time somebody called and said, hey, your son is over here putting his hands on her, I'm pulling up on him
Exactly.
and I'm getting him together. Like we don't condone BS over here. Like if you doing it, we gonna get you together. We gonna get you straight. We're not gonna act like it's okay, and you know what I mean, and vice versa.
Yeah,
If
we're
they
not sweeping
had
it under the
something,
rug.
yeah, if they
Right.
had something on tape of him doing to her, ain't no refuting it. You know what I mean? Ain't no refuting it.
And
So,
I want you to get into the letter that she wrote him for his birthday.
right. I got it in there, but I would have to get it. But basically, um, she was just saying that, she's so happy he came into her life. He makes sure she eats. He makes sure he talks her off the ledge. She kept calling him her twin flame. She was just basically saying how meek and mild mannered he is, how he was helping her control this and control that, and just basically explained exactly who he was in the letter. His birthday was in August. This happened in November. If this man was beating you and raping you out your sleep and all that, you're not about to write him a letter like that in August.
yeah,
Even if we gonna celebrate you for your birthday, we gonna be like, happy birthday, I love you. If you ain't, you know what I'm saying? If we really ain't fooling with you, we gonna go ahead
Right.
and do the right thing, still give you something for your birthday, but we ain't about to pour our heart out to you about who you really are if you're not that person.
yeah.
But that was just a way of manipulating him and keeping him to, coming back, even if ever in his
Mm-hmm.
mind he was thinking, because she's like, you're my world, basically, I'm your world. And they said she was in a tarot reading and all that. I don't know how true any of that is, these statements or just things that I've heard. Um, and I believe all of that stuff is witchcraft.
Definitely, and it probably could be. There's people out there that does it, being hateful.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
painted him out to be this good guy, and then after it all went down, he was this negative, horrible monster.
Right, and
Right.
all the
It's
time
crazy
with her.
work. While he was trying to save her and be there for her, then
Exactly.
turned around to get the short end of the stick.
Yeah. That's
While
to
the
her.
family was sucking it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
To
I'm
her.
sorry. The family is sorry. I feel like the family is sorry because they let this go on for so long.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
it could have been much more better if they would have said something and got her help.
Correct.
Definitely. And
Correct.
did not let him come back to the house. So where they gonna go to see each other?
Right. Right. Exactly.
You feel
Exactly.
me?
I
And
That
think
see,
was
that was
there's a
another
charge
reason.
out there
yeah,
for people like that that's watching and not saying anything.
right.
Accessory
Well,
to murder.
and that was
Because
another thing
right.
with me. They couldn't lay up in my house. You know what I mean? Like, so, and then after that happened with the baby mother, where she was trying to get into it with the baby mother, she wasn't even welcome to at my house. So that was another reason why he didn't want to stay here, because she couldn't come.
Mm. How far are you on writing this book?
It's actually done. It's at the publisher now.
Mhm.
It's at the
I can't
publisher.
wait.
I
Yes.
can't wait.
So,
And
well,
definitely I hope the family is in there too as well because I feel like they got something to do with this as well. The mother,
yeah,
whoever it is, whoever house it was to let it go on like that, everybody should be counted
I
for
think
it.
the whole family should be in jail if you ask me.
yeah. And the thing is, it's too many parents that don't hold their children accountable. You know what I mean? I'm not one of
Bingo.
those. You know what I mean? And and that's the issue. Like, just from what I'm hearing about her, they probably was all scared of her too. You know what I mean? Because
Wow.
wild, young, and ruthless. You know what I mean? So it's just,
You being scared of your own child is crazy work.
yeah, it
A
is.
child that you brought in and struggled to bring in this world.
Yeah,
Believe me, some mothers and fathers out there are scared of their children.
yeah, for sure,
And that's a fact.
for
I have
sure.
seen it.
I
Yeah,
can't see me being scared of my kids.
yeah. But it's either, and I just don't see as a mother, if you really thought my son was over there beating your daughter, you know what I mean? Why he would have been in jail. He would have been jumped, beat up, you know what I mean? Like, who's allowing that? And you in a house full of our family. Who's allowing that? Like, but I told him before, even when he was being a gun dealer, like, he was too careless with his guns. You know what I mean? Like, he might put them in the car and or move them at night, and then he like, "Have you seen my gun?" Like, you're too careless with them. There's no way that on multiple occasions she was able to even threaten you with your gun. Like, you was being too careless with him. So I'll take accountability for that. That, for one, he didn't even know nothing about guns because we didn't keep him in the house. We didn't carry him. We didn't none of that. So you didn't know nothing about that. When you got into that lifestyle, that's something she introduced you to, and then you liked it. I saw him making money from it, so I was okay with it. That he began to, because he was going to actual gun shows selling guns, not no bootleg on the street, nothing. But now she has access to your weapons. And if she's already threatening you, sending you messages like she gonna kill you because you didn't pay a bill, like, you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Definitely.
That's crazy. So, you know, I
I'm
definitely
sorry that
take
things played out the
accountability
way
for that.
they did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could have been.
I hope she get help while she in there.
Mm, yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Her day is coming.
How long they giving her?
Well, we don't know right now. The charge that she facing is murder, and that could carry from 40 to 65 years. That's without any plea agreement.
or any parole.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I'll be on
She
front
shouldn't
row
even be allowed to
every
have a
court day.
plea.
Yeah. Well, if it's up to
No
me, she won't get
parole,
a.
no nothing.
Yeah, if it's up to me, she won't get a plea because I'm gonna
Yeah,
be on
because
front row.
it seemed like it could have been playing too at the same time. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Well, like I
Wasn't
said,
nobody-
a month before, she called my daughter and said, "Come pick up your dead brother." So you thought this was a game?
Right. That part.
Hmm.
Did.
For sure.
And it was the fact that she knew exactly where the gun was.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And for him
But
to go
anyway,
back and search and not find it, and
yeah, I've
like you
never
said,
been
he,
on her. I've never been on her social medias or anything. But they said, she's all over social media with guns and all of that. So this is some people. That's just their lifestyle, who they are.
so
A hard
did he try to
day.
run from her when she pulled that gun on him?
No, they said that he was actually bending over and looking in his bag. And I know the bag that he was looking at was probably his gun bag when he realized his gun
Yeah.
wasn't there. And so he was actually bent over looking in his gun bag.
And she blindsided him.
Yeah, that's more like premeditation. If she opened the door and closed it and opened it again and then shot, that's more like premeditation.
That's crazy work.
Once you close the door, you had ample time and opportunity to think about what your next move was going to be.
Yeah. Plenty of time
Yeah,
before he made it to you.
yeah,
And you opened the door and opened fire.
right.
You know what shocks me is that she didn't turn the gun on herself.
But wouldn't that have been something?
That's
She
what
might have.
shocks
Well,
me.
her family was there to make sure she didn't.
Yeah, I don't actually know who was there on that day and time,
I
but
should would say, what if it was just them two standing right there?
yeah, but everything that would have led up to that. Um, if you being silent about it, you're complicit to it.
Mhm. So who called 911 when this happened?
They said several neighbors called and they said she ran to one neighbor's door and said that he was abusing her and she shot him. So that was another story, not even the one she gave the police. She told the police they wrestled over a gun
That's crazy.
that he had the
So it
gun.
goes to show you when nobody at home.
Yeah.
You ran to
Well,
the neighbors.
that day, I guess their electricity was off, and that's what this whole argument stirred Um, from what I was told, because I asked about a ring camera that they had on their house. And I was told that they couldn't get that ring footage because their electricity was off, which is what spawned this argument. So she probably wanted him to pay the light bill. He may or may not have the money.
But I'm sure that ring camera holds a whole bunch of evidence that happened prior to that
Exactly.
that you
Exactly.
still should be able to get.
They're requesting it.
Also, look at everybody else's house around there.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
The story gonna show up.
yeah. And I just want people to let me grieve. You know what I mean? Stay off my page with fake pages laughing at, my son's death or, what I mean, commenting, trying to, stand for her, sharing my post, trying to stand for her. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to stand for her, do that on your own page, your own time. Leave me alone.
You on mute, Gina?
I said that's very disrespectful.
Very,
Very
very.
disrespectful for someone to lose. I don't care if it was your mother, anybody. It could have been anybody got murdered or in violence. Why would you contact another person who family member just got killed? Like people can be so mean.
So
and
man,
ignorant to the fact
it,
until
I was just
something happens to them, and karma it comes right back, and people
yeah,
don't even feel like that it will, but it can come in different forms. You
yeah, for
know, it
sure.
ain't you gotta come back the way that you probably got it, but it's gonna come back a different type of way. And it's gonna hit you real hard, and you're gonna wish you never did that. So
Yeah.
you need to watch what we do sometimes too, because karma is out here. You never
Oh,
know what can happen. You know what I
oh, it don't
mean?
miss. It don't miss. It might not
No,
be today. It might not be tomorrow, but it don't miss.
yes, and definitely you gonna think about what you did to that person and what you got coming for you or what you got going on now. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
karma.
Karma
So
always
sometimes
come back
yeah,
around 10 times fold.
it does,
Mhm.
and sometimes we can't even figure that out until it happens.
Yeah. Well, for
Yeah.
sure,
She
his
gonna get
death
what she
won't
got
be.
coming to her, or somebody
Yeah.
close to her.
Yeah. And, his death won't be in vain. You know what I mean? I'm going to definitely speak up about it, keep
Mhm.
speaking up about it. This book is going to bring a lot of awareness. It includes, just help lines, help phone numbers, things where men can, get help. I also started the Silent Son Foundation. I wanted to wait till after the funeral and everything before we started taking donations, because you know how ignorant people can be about that. Oh, she trying to go fund me and all of that. So I wanted to wait to after the funeral was over. We are going to be accepting donations for the Silent Son Foundation. What our mission is to be able to have funds to place men in housing, maybe pay down payment deposits and things like that for a new place to stay, helplines, anonymous and therapists, like just really have a whole umbrella of services for men who are experiencing domestic violence. Hopefully we can get to the point where we have a domestic violence men's shelter, because it's hard for men, even if they're single dads, to get into a shelter, because most of them are, well, a family shelter, because most family shelters are for women or women and children.
Right.
So that is my mission, to begin to build the Silent Son Foundation and keep my son's legacy alive.
Definitely. And I know a lot of mothers just like you is going to be just along your side as the same way and helping you go through this because there's a
Yeah.
lot of mothers out here and fathers have been going through this too for a while. And
Yes,
definitely, if we need more people like us to put it out there and make
correct.
it stick too as well, because violence is getting very violent in this world at this time,
It is. Yeah.
and it's so much going on that we try to help out to stop it, but you have to make sure you steady on that too as well. Don't stop, you know.
Right. And so many people, so many parents need an outlet, to
Mhm.
grieve and to, we have friends and family around us, but when you're able to speak to someone who has experienced this same type of loss,
Mhm.
it's an outlet. So I am also looking forward to do a book with just excerpts of things that have happened to people, children, or somebody where they get to tell their story. Just a bunch of stories being told in the book. That way, families can feel like they got their child's story out there, whether it was solved or unsolved. Because
Yeah.
just holding all that bottled up in you,
Yeah.
it's a
You
lot.
gotta be ready to do something. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, and that's why we pray. We
yeah,
talk. We give it to God and let it go.
for sure.
You know, um, ain't no need to versatile and none of that. We just need to start. just loving ourselves. Definitely, because if we love ourselves even more, then we'll love that next person. We'll be just fine. We'll know how to handle that next person.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But even
So
if
it's
we
Right, because
like,
if
love,
they taught their daughter love, this one ain't never happened.
yeah, but even if we
everybody,
love our,
everybody needs love.
yeah,
You probably gave your child love, and they still go through traumatic. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But if
Definitely,
what you're
yeah,
saying is, if you love, but even with that, if you love yourself, you're gonna love yourself enough not to even stay in this type of situation.
right. That
That
part,
part,
Yeah,
you
I
can
agree.
walk away. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. You got to be strong too, as well.
No
You
matter how
know.
much I love you, I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hitting that door.
I'm choosing
We're gonna
me.
deal with this
Yeah,
on your own if I can't get you the help that you need or the help that you
exactly.
want.
Right. Definitely.
Well,
You ain't got to.
you can't love somebody out of their trauma, and that's where a
No.
lot of people mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said in one of my posts, it's usually the giver that links up with the person who's only trying to survive, and it drains the life out of it every time.
Yeah,
Definitely. I have had lots of experience of violence,
Yes,
especially in my family. You know what I mean? So I
my family,
understand where you're coming from. You
my
know,
family
so
as well. My sister, on my dad's side was murdered when she was 17 by her boyfriend. One of my aunts was murdered by her boyfriend, and my sister's mom was murdered by a male as well. So we've
yeah.
experienced it. You know what I mean? We've definitely experienced it.
my love goes out to you. Anytime you need me or anything, I'm here for you. And that's on the real. Like we all just need to come together for something like this not to happen, on both gender sides because it's just so much killing out here in these relationships I have seen. It's just crazy,
It's
you
getting
know.
it's getting out of
Um,
hand.
it does, and we need to learn not to love make us stay.
Yeah, yeah,
Love can make us get out too as well.
yeah,
We have to learn how to be on our own sometimes. Because sometimes that's what you need is that peace. Get yourself together to make sure you good for that next person. You know, sometimes we forget about ourselves and be like, we loving that person so much that we can't even put our love aside for ourselves or just
yeah,
love us, love yourself, period. So you can love that person to the point like, okay, if I can love myself this thick and I can love this person this thick too as well. But if
right.
I can't love myself fully, I can't love you fully, because I'm
Yeah,
missing
True.
something in me to give to you so
yeah,
you can give it back. You feel
yeah,
me? So with that being said, it's a lot of us just don't understand because we don't put ourselves aside and worry about self. We always worried about that next person. And we always do that. And I can say every person on this earth has done that,
yeah,
and still doing it. Sometimes we make love just make it just feel like we can't get out of no kind of situations unless you've been into a trauma situation. Like, oh yeah, I ain't taking that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I ain't got to.
I
I
don't
don't
have
care if
to.
it's verbally, mentally, whatever it is. You're not gonna say nothing to me crazy. You ain't gonna do none of that. I know how to get my butt up and go.
And
I'm not
go.
your slave. I'm not your dog. I'm not an animal I'm a pet that
Right. If
I
I
can
can't
treat.
teach you how to treat me, we don't need to be in this relationship.
And
That
well, I'm
part.
not teaching you how to treat me because everybody's grown. But at the end of the day, a lot of people out here trauma bonding. You know what I mean? Like on the story that documentary they wrote about my son, they said that she lost like three people in a year. You know what I'm saying? And my son, he lost his grandmother, which probably took a big emotional toll on him as well. So a lot of people trauma bond and they don't know what that is, so they don't realize that that's what they've done. Because you
Mhm.
really may not even have nothing in common with this person,
Right.
except for the fact that both of y'all have been hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's a
And
fact.
then that just makes the relationship more toxic. You know what I mean? Just because it's like you really trying to push this hurt onto the other person. They trying to push their hurt onto you. That's why I said love is not toxic. It doesn't hurt. Like, and people need to learn how to see that fast. Like, once you
Mhm.
see the red flags, yeah, bye. Oh,
Leave.
yeah,
No, ASAP. I got on my flipper flappers and I don't even wear them, but I'm gonna
yeah,
put on those real
I
quick
got
and
on my
I'm
true
out.
religions. I'm out the door.
I don't care what kind of shoes they. I'm out. Like
right,
you,
My house
I'll be
shoes.
barefooted.
I
I'm
don't need
out.
nothing
Like
else.
yeah, I'm good. I don't have to be treated in no type of way if I don't want to be treated like that.
yeah,
So, and not even that, I get like when you go into a relationship, like the things that you do in the beginning, you have to do that during the whole relationship. Ain't no half stepping, ain't not stop doing stuff that you was doing before you got it. Nah, we don't do that. You ain't gonna leave me on hold like that. Like you
right,
gonna keep on doing the same thing you did to get me. And I'm gonna be doing the same thing that when you get me. You feel me? It's nothing you're gonna change or mold a person. You cannot mold a person to who you want them to
Yeah,
be.
they gotta
If
want
you
to
don't want to
change.
be with that person who they came in to be,
yeah.
then you don't need that person. You need to go find somebody that's gonna be
That's
on
on your
you.
level.
Well,
Yeah, like
what happens is a lot of time you meet a person's representative. There, you know what I mean?
mhm,
You don't meet them. You meet who they want you to believe that they are. You know what I
yes.
mean? And sometimes you see quickly they're not that
Mhm,
person. And then sometimes it takes a minute for you to realize this is not the person that they presented themselves to be. You know what I mean? And by that time, you're you locked in.
By
And
that
like
time,
I
I've
said,
been and grabbed my slippers and I'm out the door.
yeah. But a lot of
Right.
people
It, yeah, sometimes it's just too
get
many
the door.
times you can't do it. Like it's just like you can't. It's just what you selling for. So that's what you selling for. That's what you're gonna get. Period.
You ain't gotta worry about it. These Timbos gonna say it all. All you gonna
Yeah.
feel is the wind behind me. And that car woman up outside. Where you going? To the store. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna
Yeah,
never
but
see me no more.
so many people they get in relationships for the wrong reason. Like the initial thing, you handsome, then it's okay, the sex is good or whatever, and then by the
Mhm.
time you get into that, you done now y'all just infatuated, waited with each other. Along the way, might now y'all living together, but you don't know nothing about this person. They finances, they goals, they aspirations. You know what I mean? And now you already locked in within 6 months to a year. And that's why these relationships go sour.
And
Because you're
that's
not getting to know these people.
yep. That's why I'm gonna wake up one day with somebody and I'm gonna have some false teeth in my mouth. And when I wake up,
False teeth
and
is
I look at him
crazy.
like, "Oh, you didn't know who I was." No, for real, because it does happen like that. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
and it really
False
do.
teeth though.
And you like, "Oh, she's so fine. She got this body and all this."
If
And
you
then
call
boom,
me with some false teeth in your mouth, I'm going to talk about you.
well, I will. And I'm serious. Like sometimes we do have to do that. And it was like, was you that drunk that you ain't realize who I was? And I have explained to you who I was thousands of times, but you just didn't hear it until I had to show you. Like, okay, well, you never know who you gonna wake up to one day. You feel me? Like,
Right.
and that's
You
that
wake up
problem.
with some missing teeth in your mouth.
Drinking, no, for real. People are on nasty stuff these days, and we just chill out. Like it's just a lot of things that goes on to try to get somebody. You know what I mean? You could be a
Yeah.
false person in the beginning, and then you show
Exactly.
the real you. Just like
Mask come off every time.
yeah, and yeah,
That's too
yeah.
much.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. But my son, he will not be forgotten. Again,
No, will
this
not.
is Carl Edward Stevenson the fourth. My Silent Son. The book Silent Son will be out, or we probably release it the first week of the new year. Try to do it like the first of the new year, just because Christmas and
I
everything
can't wait.
going on.
Sounds good. So what we gonna do is, so every anniversary, I would love to interact with you as well, network with you on domestic violence against
Yeah,
men
yeah,
too as well, because I am a big advocate of domestic violence and
yeah.
violence period. Like no kind of violence should be tolerated. You know,
Right.
I have been through it. I have seen it. I even work in a hospital and I see it every day. It's so sickening. It is. And it's just getting very gross at this time to me.
Yeah,
And we keep on saying we're gonna do something about it and we have these events every year. Can we have this like every day? Because
yeah.
somebody's getting killed every day.
Every
Like
day.
every day.
Yeah,
Like I don't care where you at. Somebody's getting killed every day. And
Yeah,
for us to do throw events on a purpose of violence and we're really not making any kind of difference in anybody's life that's really going through these kind of situations too.
yeah,
And sometimes we cannot be so hard headed not to get that help too as well.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes we have to say no. Okay, this is enough. You know what I mean? And get out your greed of what somebody is doing for you. You go do it for yourself. Make yourself feel good. And then you won't have to worry about another person making you feel that way. You already know you that way. They can add on to the situation, but quit trying to make people feel like you. And you are so different from the next person and your spouse. Okay, we're not the same. We are two different people. Okay, I'm a woman, you're a man.
yeah,
Okay, we need to stay in our places too as well. Because sometimes we don't stay in our places, you know.
yeah,
And for people to add on the women always getting beat on too, it's a lie. You know,
yeah.
I ain't saying they don't get because it is women out here that does get because I was a domestic violence too
Right.
as well. So with that being said, I'm not gonna say women. I'm gonna say both sides do. It does happen, but it's
Yeah.
rarely that you'll hear a man being beat on.
yeah,
We feel like they're much more stronger than us.
Well, you want it's not that you really hear it; they just don't talk about it.
Yet they don't. They don't
Mhm.
at all. And I can't say like in any other state that I have heard a man will come to another woman or another man and tell him or her that I'm getting beat on at all. They just don't take it. And they
Right.
yeah.
don't want to
You hear
they
more
don't
of that
want that other
from the women's
person.
side.
Yeah, because they don't want that to feel no type of way. You feel me?
Yeah, for
We gonna
sure.
always say like, "Oh, you must have did something." You know what I mean? That's
Right.
always in a relationship. One another, somebody did something to make that happen. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they
You know
always
that.
think a man deserved it. Like you deserved it. What you do? Like you said, yeah. Like, but it's not.
So
Like a lot
I'm
of
like,
times,
I ain't
women
even
are
do
just
nothing but look at her, and I
yeah.
still
But
got
no, a lot of
punched.
times women are just as controlling as men can be.
definitely, and we are controlling. I can
Mhm.
say
Yes,
I'm controlling.
yeah,
I can be controlling this sometimes. Sometimes we got to catch ourselves too and be like, "Oh yeah, I got to
Yeah,
stay in my place because that wasn't for me to do or say." You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to
yeah.
correct ourselves too. It ain't nothing wrong with correcting yourself or
Just don't do it
apologize
with them false teeth in your mouth.
to another person. Like we be deep in our skin. We won't even apologize. We'll just let the
yeah.
shit slide. But
Fact.
we have to get out of that because
Yeah, y'all
we're,
got that bad.
Yep. Women do
you know,
have real problem apologizing and taking accountability.
they definitely do.
Accountability is everything.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I love apologizing for what I do. If I did something wrong, I apologize for it. I don't have no. It's not gonna kill me, and it's not gonna hurt me to do so. You feel
Yeah,
me? So, that's when you know you in your ego when you can't tell another person. I apologize for
Mhm.
saying that or doing that to you or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? So I thank God that He gave me that strength to do that because back then you wouldn't have got it. You would have got something, but you wouldn't have
Right.
got it. Definitely, it's a big change. No, sometimes we have to change. We got to change for ourselves, though. We
Yeah.
can't change for
They
nobody
gotta
else.
want to change.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you have to see your flaws as well as you do another person. If you can't see your flaws, you can't say nothing about your flaws that you got, then you
Mhm.
know it's
Then
something
you
that
can't
you're
say nothing
not.
about the next person's.
You can't tell that other person what your flaws is. You always right or something. No, you're not right. We're
Yeah.
not always right. We have flaws, and we need to say that we have them flaws too. Don't sit back and let flaws come out of nowhere and then nobody know
No,
but
that's
you
right.
because you didn't say nothing about your flaws. I like to be upfront. If you don't like what I got to say or how I'm reacting to the comments that you give me, I'm gonna say what I got to say because I feel like everybody needs to be truthful to themselves, to be
Correct.
truthful to another person, loyal to yourself, faithful, all that. Sure,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
yeah.
I
But
really
I love you.
appreciate you guys having me on here and letting my son's
I,
story get out all over the world.
yeah,
This
Hmm.
definitely won't be the last time that you see me or hear of us.
that's right. And you will not, because I'm gonna make sure that too as well. And I know Vi is too. Definitely. And she ain't going nowhere. And we gonna make sure that. And we definitely, anytime you need to do anything, let us know.
I
And
will.
you got to. Okay.
Thank
And
The
I
you.
door's
love you.
always open.
Yes, I
I
love you,
appreciate
Queen.
y'all.
Yes, and keep it strong. Don't let nobody irritate that brain that you got upstairs that God gave you as a gift. Be strong. It's okay. Your son is looking over you right now. And whatever God got for whoever, then let that be. And definitely your book, I know it's going to tell the whole thing and nothing but that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And yes, and
I'm
I
gonna be
want
the first
everybody,
one.
yes,
Well, thank
I
you.
want
At least
everybody
we
because
know we're
most
selling two
probably,
copies. Huh?
you could have a couple episodes because you never know, how people reacting to you too as well as a mother of,
Right.
of, of of not kindly words or kindly things that you're doing to a mother have lost her son. So
Right.
you got so many chapters in your life that you can explain to us and let us know what you got going on. And I know
Right.
it's gonna be amazing too, because I know you're gonna come at them whatever it is. God ain't can't keep you there, you know. And by you
He
spreading
didn't
that
bring you
word,
this far to leave you.
yes, and I hope other mothers is listening. I hope other fathers are listening too. Men are listening. Women are listening. Please stop the violence in the relationship. If you can't be with each other, please leave, and it's okay.
Keep
It's
your hands
okay.
to yourself. Everybody, keep your hands to yourself.
And
That
if
was the
that
first
person,
thing you learned before you went to kindergarten.
yes, and if you
Yeah.
can't love that person like you love yourself, let them go. You feel
That's
me?
If
it.
And
they
not
come
even
back, it was meant.
Well, that's
don't
another
come
issue
back.
too.
Don't
People
come
don't
back.
love
Quit
themselves,
coming.
so they don't know.
That's the problem too. Quit coming back. Quit coming back. You should have learned from the
No, I'm
first time.
saying if they came back as the healed version of themselves,
Yeah, but
and y'all are able to
I don't want to
communicate and
trust that
talk,
no more. I don't want to trust it no more. I don't care how healed you was. You said, thank you. I got
Keep it
out of that
moving.
situation because you
Listen,
never know. It could be worse that next time too. They
not
could
for
be a
real.
you
jealous
right?
person. It's jealous people. It's jealous relationships out here too as well. So
And
you have to
pray,
watch.
pray, pray,
Yes,
pray yourself out
yes,
of situations.
yes.
Prayer
Period.
really does
Yes,
work. Pray yourself out of situations. If you feel
definitely.
like you're not strong enough, you're not strong minded, strong willed, pray yourself. God listens. Pray yourself out
Mm-hmm.
of it. It works.
We sure do. Stay out of these kind of situations. And I love you, Queen. Thank you for coming on here and
I
telling
love
your
you too, and
story.
thank y'all so much. I will
You're
see
so
y'all again soon.
yes, you will always. And it's just amazing story. And I know I'll be the first one to come to Amazon getting your book. Period.
I
Because
appreciate
by
it.
We
Thank
gonna have
y'all.
her come on here with the book.
that
Yeah,
too.
definitely will.
Well, we have
I
to buy the
definitely
book
will.
for her to come back on to get, show what we got too as well, right?
Exactly.
Y'all most
Well, I
definitely.
got y'all. Thank you.
That
Much
part. We
love.
support
I
you.
appreciate y'all.
You're welcome, and we definitely support you to the fullest. Y'all already know
Okay.
my and give everybody your information where they can find. If you don't want to, that's fine too, because it's
Now
people
you
out
can
here.
find me, Latasha Boyd, Boyd, on Facebook. Latasha Stevenson. I'm on there as that too as well for my business page. And my Instagram is She Bougie the Real. And then my TikTok is Quan and Tasha 4L.
Okay, y'all already know. Go follow her on all of them. Make sure y'all go get that book. Support, support, support. Definitely. Y'all already know. My name
Mm-hmm.
is Tina, and I am a podcaster and a radio host. You already know, and I do a lot more. So we're gonna let my co-host run us up out of here.
You already know. This your boy King Za. Would like to thank y'all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Tasha, for accepting the invitation to come rock with us and get your story out to millions of people around the world. Remember, y'all, violence is never the answer. Be you, be true, be positive. I'm not telling you not to have a voice, just know when to use it. Not everything in life deserves a response. You're more than enough. Hashtag stay muted. And we out. Peace.